Hey, Pat, thanks for joining us.
Dan, thanks for having me. How are you?
We're doing great. Deep topic today. We were talking about kickers, and John Gruden said something last night where, Seton, can you play that for Pat, and then we'll get his expertise on what maybe John Gruden was trying to say.
These NFL goalposts a lot tighter than they are in the NCAA. It's a different football.
So we know it's a different football, but are the goalposts tighter in the NFL than they are in college?
No, they're the same size. Yeah, they might be taller because the NFL made that rule where they got to be taller because guys were kicking them over the upright in the stripes. Were having a tough time calling it in or not. But they're the same size. And Polly sent me a little DM on Twitter. He just slid into my DMs and asked me if I think it's tougher in college or the NFL to kick. I'm assuming that's where we're headed to.
Yeah.
So I think physically, Paulie, by the way, thanks for sliding into DMs. Made me feel good this morning. Just woke up, late sleeper on a Tuesday. Seeing your face in there makes me feel great. But anyways, I think physically it's a lot harder in college because the hash marks are wider. So it's a harder angle on the kick for the short kicks. You don't have a professional long snapper, which is in charge of the laces, right? So everybody thinks because of Ace Ventura, Pet Detective, that Dan Marino was the one that messed up the laces, Finkel Einhorn. But the laces now are on the long snapper. So their job is to professionally snap the ball at the same rotation so the laces are out every time. The holder now, it is his job to place the ball down and with the wrong lean can miss a kick. In college, you don't have professionals doing that. You got guys that probably do it once or twice a week. That's it. They're not really practicing. So from a wider hash marks to the unprofessional long snapper and holder, it's definitely physically harder in college, I think. This is me personally. But kicking is 90% mental. And when there's a lot of money on the line for a lot of people, including yourself, a little bit of a mental hurdle sometimes for some guys to get over. And then once they figure it out, they just keep it moving. So I think physically it's much harder in college. But when it comes to a mental side, whenever you're kicking for your livelihood, it's a little different. Some guys, it takes a little bit to get over that.
Explain why Vinatieri has been able to do this into his 40s.
So Adam Vinatieri is classy, incredibly classy. Every time he talks, he says all the right things. He never does anything wrong. He's a great husband, a great father, but he is the most competitive human walking this earth. I honestly believe that. I think whenever we go in and lift, if DeQuell Jackson is incline benching like 110-pound dumbbells, like Vinatieri wants to do it too. He just has this competitive nature about him that he is just always proving something when it comes to anything. He wants to be the best father, the best husband. He's literally just the most competitive dude I've ever met in my entire life.
Do kickers now? Is there a need? Do you feel like you have to be more athletic? Like you have to be more involved because we have this label with kickers that they're just kickers.
Yeah, well, I think back in the day, though, the people who were just kicking and just punting, it was kind of one of those jobs where you could do it and not really be that athletic. Now, granted, I think the motion of punting, right? Like, Dan, you could punt a ball, but you're going to suck at it, right? But you could probably throw a football pretty well. I've seen you shoot a basketball. You're pretty good, but you can't kick a ball for crap, Dan. I don't know you that well, but I'm assuming you suck at it. And it's one of those things where you don't have to be athletic to do it. But what we've learned is the more athletic you are, the more in tune you are with like kind of trying to stay healthy, the better you're going to be. And there's only 32 jobs. So guys are trying to get an edge. And I think the working out and the specific training really came into fruition here in the past couple, like maybe last decade or two, where you see a lot more athletic guys. Now, granted, I am certainly the least athletic guy in the Indianapolis Colts. Maybe above. There's probably a couple guys that are more athletic than, but I think you have to be an athlete to be good at it. I think that's any position. You could be a DH, pitcher, any of those things. You have to be athletic to be good at it.
And you're averaging almost 52 yards a punt this year.
Yeah, man, we're hitting a long ball, aren't we, Dan?
No, that's good stuff. It's good stuff. We're talking to Pat McAfee, the punter kicker for the Colts. Have you heard Paulie's Andrew Luck impersonation?
No, I heard Andrew heard it, though. I heard that.
Yeah. Luck wasn't upset, was he?
No.
Okay.
I heard the clip because it was all over the internet. And, anytime you get Andrew to laugh or something go out of character at all because he's so dead on all the time, it's going to make its rounds around Indianapolis. And you guys made him laugh, so that's great news.
Okay, here's Andrew when he was on last month.
we didn't shoot ourselves in the foot. We positive plays, and even if drives didn't end in touchdowns or field goals, they weren't ending in interceptions and fumbles.
I just going to London, a couple days off, really didn't need them. We got it together. The offensive line stepping up. Stanford football not doing good. Indy football all doing great. McAfee booming them.
It's a Houston.
How was that?
You know what? I'm gonna tell you what, Paulie. I think your IQ is probably a good 60 to 100 points lower than Andrew's.
Easily.
Your voice is the exact same. I think you sound the exact. Paulie, I think that's a Frank Caliendo type impression, and I think that's something you should go on the road with.
Pat is really the key to the special team. Vinatieri, legend, got him away from New England. Pat McAfee, he's a good kid, just booming him. Media career ahead of him like nobody's business.
You're not using big enough words, though. Like every conversation with Andrew, you must use context clues to figure out what the hell's going on, because he'll use a word or two that you've never heard of, one of those SAT words back in the day.
So you're saying I'm a linguist. I'm a linguist.
Wow, not bad there. You should maybe use a slew of those words in your next impression, but I think you're really onto something here.
Hey, congrats on the season so far there, at least for you individually.
Well, yeah, I think the big thing here is, Dan, and you know this because you've been around the NFL.
Oh.
You got to win. You got to win to be happy, really. I mean, it's the world we live in. We're all so – we work all year, we go to training camp. I slept in a dorm for 3 weeks. I went to Canton, Ohio. Saw a fiasco there. We're talking, we dedicate a lot of time to this, and the only way you can truly be happy is if we win. So beating the Bears, which is a good squad, Hoyer's balling a little bit, slinging a rock, but whenever we win, it's much better, and I hope we keep stacking them there.
All right, good luck this Sunday night in Houston.
Hey, thank you so much, man.
All right.
I hope you guys have a great day. Seton, go Ears. All right, I'll see you guys.
All right, that's Pat McAfee.
The Dan Patrick Show, weekday mornings on Audience.